Good Friday evening to everyone. How are you? It's good to see you all. It's good to be seen by you all. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear on a Friday evening. Guys, we made it. We made it. We made it. We made it to Friday. A wonderful, wonderful Friday lies in front of us, and we have a lot of fun planned for you guys tonight. And I am really looking forward to enjoying that with you. Let me just give a quick mention to our friends who like to watch us over on X. They were experiencing some issues of some kind earlier this evening that were causing some really janky stuff going on with comments and responses and yada yada. I thought it was just me, and refresh the browser. Did you have you cleared your browser cache, Jack? Have you? Well, you just look that old website right in the eye and you say, yes, sir, the click is in the mail. But yeah, I did all that stuff. And of course, it was still janky. TXC Boy 36, the next AD&D game is Tuesday evening. We gather every Tuesday to do this, but in Greyhawk. But anyway, so if you're watching over on X and you leave a comment and it's not coming through, I apologize in advance. It's not me. I'm not ignoring you. The best thing you can do, other than fall in love, which of course, Chris Cross told us we could do back in 1979. The best thing you can do is to click the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications here on YouTube so you can find out when we do the live streams and come watch them over here. If this is the only thing that you want to do with YouTube, with Google, with Alphabet, whatever they're called, then that's it, a good thing. It's an enjoyable thing, but let me tell you, we have got some fun planned for you tonight. If you're new here, if you're newly subscribed, if you have just discovered this channel, whether it is through X or through just YouTube in general, and you're wondering, well, what do you mean you're gonna play Gamma World? Well, I will tell you, I got me a group of players coming in just a minute. They're over in the green room. They're enjoying some schnapps, some baklava. I provide for them. But they're going to be in here in just a minute, and we are going to play a Gamma World game. You guys are invited to watch and listen. Now, maybe you're thinking, oh, okay, I get it. Your Critical Role kind of no. We are actually playing the RPG. We are not playing like we play the RPG. We are playing the RPG. Guys, 10 minutes into tonight, and everybody could be rolling up new characters, and we're just starting another adventure somewhere else. Because the dice decide what happens. We don't have table read sessions. We don't have writing sessions, script writing sessions. We don't talk about, oh, well, the story arc this week, guys, so make sure you're there on time and we'll discuss what's going to happen when you fight these guys. No. We are playing a TTRPG. You are invited to watch, but not just watch. If you have a question, if you want to know how or why we're doing something or what somebody's character is doing or something like that isn't clear, I want you to feel free to ask in the chat, okay? With all due respect, as a guy who does not hate the players, but hates the game when it comes to other channels, you're not really going to get a chance to interact with them unless you want to wait in line at a Comic-Con for 4.5 hours and pay $75 for a glossy autograph photo, okay? Here, you can talk to us, you can ask us what's going on, and we will give you feedback. If I don't, the players might. If the players don't, someone else in the chat might, because, and I'm going to tell you guys 100%, because I have the best looking and the smartest audience of any 5-night a week classic RPG live stream show on YouTube. And I'll kill on that hill. I'm not dying on that hill. I'll kill on that hill. So be ready to get some radiation on. TXG asks if Gamma World is on drive-thru. Yes, it is. You can get first edition print on demand. I do not know if it comes second edition comes POD, but you can get first edition in PDF. You can get it in print on demand. I have a lovely, gorgeous, durable copy. Someday I'll be signing autographs. Not hardly. Not hardly. I mean, I'll do it. It's not going to be worth a damn, but I'll do it. But anyway, so that's what's going on tonight. And let me, in the few minutes we have before the players surround the virtual table here, let me tell you, tonight's show is brought to you by me, Bill Sylvie, the Dungeon Delver. If you want a nice piece of merch with our merch design on it that was designed by Tracy Lesh, it's absolutely gorgeous. Go to our spring store. It's linked in the comments below. You can pick up a t-shirt, a pint glass. I think we have coffee mugs, stickers, all kinds of fun stuff from the spring store. Okay. Tracy Lesh designed an absolutely awesome logo, and I'm just super duper excited about that merch. Get yourself some. It looks fantastic. It is old school TTRPG style merch. A member of your management team bought one of our t-shirts and had you sign it. That's awesome, DBTTRPG. Thank you, Retro Familiar. I appreciate that. Am I going to create a character gen for Gamma World? Maybe, if I think there's enough demand for first edition Gamma World character gen. It's really simple. it's really simple. The game master decides what equipment you start with, so that's out. If you're a pure strain human, no mutations, character's done in like 2 steps. Stat me, hit points. There you go. If you're a mutant, D4 defects, D4 beneficial, and pull those from a list. And then statue, and then hit points. So I might do it. And let's see. I do want to mention one other thing, though, that is available for sale. If you are interested, speaking of character generators, if you are a fan of first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons, let me take a moment to tell you about Crom, the Character Record Organizational Manager. It is a first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons software package that is for the creation and management of characters in 1EA D&D. Now, I know what you're saying. You're thinking, I can go into Chat GPT and say, create a first edition character for me. It might give you correct AD&D stuff. It might let basic or OD&D or second edition or third edition or fourth edition or fifth edition stuff slip in there. Okay. Bless its heart. It does its best. Crom is a 100% feature complete, 100% strictly by the rulebook character generator and manager. When you create a character with Crom, you can level them up. You can add to their age. You can change their stats. You can change their alignment. Have you got a human who levels up to the point and has the stats to dual class, you can dual class them. Have you got a half elf who has the stats and can become a bard just like a human can? You can do the bard track with them. It will check for psionics. If you are a alignment restricted class and you change alignments, guess what? Your class becomes the next thing. Your assassin becomes a thief. Your paladin becomes a fighter. Your ranger becomes a fighter. But Bill, what if I have a high-level magic user? I'll still have to create my spell book by hand. No, you won't. It will auto-generate spell books for high-level magic users. You want to come back in later and add XP, sell gems and jewelry, buy more equipment? Crom does all of this. It saves in text, it saves in HTML, it saves in a nifty little JSON file that I'm going to do a video on how you can go in there and just kind of tweak around with your JSON file a little bit too if you want. But that's coming. Now, I will say something very, very cool about it. TXG bought a copy of it. He's over there in the chat. Everybody say hi to TXG. TXG bought a copy of Crom, and he wanted to see if it would run on Linux. I mean, that's gutsy, going out and saying, look, here's $25. Let me just see if this will work on Linux. Lo and behold, it works through Wine on Linux. If you have a Linux machine and you have Wine installed, odds are you're good to go. Even better news. Now, that's not Linux native. Okay. I have not ported it to Linux. It just happened to using that. But speaking of ports, Tim Imholt, who's going to be joining us in the game in just a minute, is working on the Macintosh port. That's right, guys. Crom is going wide. So stay tuned to this station. And as how to get Crom, reach out to me on social media. My email address is right down there, bsylvie@gmail.com. However you want to get a hold of me, DM me on Discord, DM me on Twitter. I don't do Facebook anymore, but I do Facebook Messenger. And it is $25, and I send you the download link, and that entitles you to any upgrades, patches, and bug fixes that come with it. So if next year I get a mad posh to revisit the code and put a mouse-driven GUI and yada, 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 if you've already paid for it, you're going to get the update. Alrighty. I use Arch, by the way. That's a joke. Although I will be switching to Linux, but that's not to Linux, to Steam OS at the appropriate time. But I'm not talking about that right now. And I've talked enough about nonsensical stuff right now. Everybody, please, let's welcome tonight's players of Gamma World, because I have a super cool crew of adventurers getting ready to join us tonight. So everybody, please, I want you to put your hands together for a guy here. Now, he has his own YouTube channel. It is awesome. You can learn a lot about deep, like theory crafting about first edition AD&D, and he's just a swell guy all around. You can find him here on YouTube at Doomswords or Doom's Words. Please welcome Doomsword Deathmaster as Techno, the humanoid. Dooms!
Hey, how's it going?
It's going all right, my brother. I hope you're doing just fine as frog hairs, my friend.
Right on.
All righty. And next up, speaking of people who have a presence here on the tube of you, everybody, please welcome the guy who's working on the Mac port, but he has got so much other stuff going on. He's a physicist. He's a YouTuber. You can find him at Timothy Imholt right here on YouTube, talking about books, TTRPGs, science, Nobel Prize winners, important newsy topics of the day. Everybody, please stand for Tim Imholt as Arlen. Tim,
Hey, everybody.
you can all
And
sit down.
I'd
Go
like to
ahead.
add, we don't do table reads because we all kind of forgot how to read.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing this by rote, just going by the shapes. Now, my next guest is he is here tonight playing Gamma World with us, and we're gonna have a lot of fun because we also do the Nerd Council of Doom live streams together. He is 1/3 of the Nerd Herd, of which you have heard. Everybody, please welcome a guy who you can find here on YouTube at Yang Enzao 4. Please welcome Yang Enzao as Gary. Gary.
Evening.
How you doing, my friend?
Hot.
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 Well, at least you don't have insulation in your attic. You know what I'm saying? Just blow a fan on it. I am sorry. Is your AC out or is it just hot?
I'm cheap.
Well, there's that. All right. And next up, we have a guy who's back from his work-induced hiatus from last week. He don't need no stinking YouTube channel. Everybody, please welcome Kevin as Wonder Bar.
Hello, all. I may be a little slow today because I'm carrying an extra couple tons of salt, but we'll be okay. Well, you'll be okay. I don't know. Oops. I might have to get some liquid or something.
Well, that's fine, my friend. Stay salty. And last but not least, speaking of liquid intake, she hails from the dairy state. Everybody, please put your hands together and welcome Kennick as Foxen.
Hey, peeps.
Hello. Good to see you, Kennick. Okay, everybody's in line. Now, I'm going to bring our audience and our players back up to speed. Last week, after having defeated the deadly killbots, you made your way down a sort of a bluff just off the edge of the roadside clearing that you had parked in. And climbing down that bluff, you found yourselves in front of a large culvert pipe big enough to walk into. Exploring within, you found a large vault-like door, which fortunately you were able to force open with Techno's, the strength of his power armor. He dragged it open. Once you journeyed inside, you found what had clearly been some kind of pre-war underground structure. You found a few odds and ends. I believe, Tim, wasn't it Arlen who found a Domar and a security card?
That's right.
Okay, so Arlen found one Domar and a security card. The security card allowed you to access the lowest level in an elevator. That's right, friends, your oldest nemesis, the elevator. And you descended to the bottom level, and you now find yourself in a hallway standing before a pair of signs. To your right, you have an indicator that shows something about a power reactor. When you approached it and touched and examined the door, yellow lights started rotating. A robotic voice intoned that you should all have radiation suits on. You are standing at that door, but there's also the passage behind you to the left. So what is your what is your plan, everyone?
I think we had decided we were going to go for ops or whatever it was called down here.
Yes. Okay.
It's the part that doesn't kill you dead when you open the door.
Yes.
All right.
At least that's
So,
the theory.
You are super duper tinny. It sounds like you're using a kid's walkie-talkie from the 70s, Kanik, if you could adjust there. But anyway, so you turn around and you head back down the hall. Now it's probably a good few, I don't know, about 20, 30 meters down this hall. And there at the end of it, there's a corner, turns right, goes forward about another 5 meters, and terminates in a reinforced door. There is a pad of square buttons and a slot above it. But none of the buttons nor the slot are illuminated. What you gonna do?
Try your card.
All right, I'll try putting my card in the slot and see if it lights up.
Okay. Now, when you had put your card in the elevator slot, like you had gotten it maybe 3 centimeters in and you felt a slight tug when it was pulled almost the rest of the way in, and then it slid out on its own power. Here, you just kind of put it in. There's nothing. There's no feeling that it's doing anything. You just kind of slide your card in, stops about halfway in. The pad doesn't react. The slot doesn't react. The door doesn't react.
I look at Techno. Isn't this your specialty?
Isn't what my specialty?
Old tech.
Well, everything technical is now all of a sudden about tech and my specialty, eh?
You got the power armor.
Yes, well. Sure. Let's do it.
What are you doing?
I'm going to blast it open.
Oh, okay. Blasting, not punching, correct?
That's correct. Well, punching is actually far more effective for me, so I'm going to blast it open with a punch. Yes.
All right.
Or ripping whatever the armor has to do.
That's fine. Yeah, you're forcing the door in your power armor. Go ahead and
yes,
roll.
sir.
You don't need to roll to hit. Just roll some damage on the door.
All right. It would be hang on, I got these other dice to for my attitude this evening. There we go.
I like it.
28.
Okay. You wallop the door, and some of the metal framing pops loose. It buckles, but it does not give. But you have definitely done it. You have definitely done it damage.
All right.
You can take another shot at it if you wish. Punch, swing, whatever.
Punch, kick, it's all in the mind.
Yes, go ahead and swing on it there, Techno. I wonder if he's having some technical issues. I think that's what he was going to do, so I will go ahead and give him an assist here.
Yeah, I think he got called for a special duty.
Hang on a second, guys. My
It's okay.
My 11-year-old just blasted in here. Going berserk. Give me a moment.
Oh, sure. Blame the kid. I understand.
Well, he's autistic.
Okay.
I mean, this is totally unscripted. You know, we live in the game.
Yep.
Oh, I don't really live in the game. I mostly die in the game. But yeah.
Okay,
There are
we've
no
all
Alberts
died in the
here.
game except for Tim.
All right.
Don't give Bill ideas.
Techno punches the door once again, It flies off of its hinges and clatters onto the floor of a interesting room. There's a few chairs lying scattered around here, a thick layer of dust. The wall is about a meter high on the sides of this room. Now, opposite of where you came in, there's another less sturdy looking door, but it's there nonetheless. There's a couple of dark computer terminals that are sitting on a counter that lines the far wall and the wall to the right, all the way down to where you guys are. There's the aforementioned chairs. Now, the wall from about the 1 meter height point to about a meter from the ceiling all appears to be glass. Whatever is on the other side of the glass, you cannot see because it is pitch black. So you have bashed the door off of its hinges and you're looking into an office that is clearly inside of a larger space. And there are windows looking out into that, but it is dark out there. So you can't make out what is out there.
I'm sure Doomsword would turn on his lights were he here.
All right. Techno flips on a floodlight on his suit, and now you guys can see there are some large shapes looming in the distance. The space outside is very large. It's maybe 40 meters wide by twice again as long. It is a large open space, but you can make out a few shapes here again in it. But the most interesting thing is walking very rapidly towards the glassed-in office you're in is a dully gleaming humanoid robot. Now, I want to point out, it is not of the same type as the death bots that have been harrying you guys. This one has a complete outer shell, outer metallic shell. Its head, while angular, it isn't, it doesn't look like a skull, and mounted on either shoulder that just switch on when your lights switch on are alternating red and blue flashing strobes. And it is walking up to the door opposite of the door you guys came in. So let's get some and I should point out it has something painted on its chest area that you can't quite make out in the glare as it is walking up to the door. So Techno raises a laser finger. He's just kind of bracing himself for action. Tim, what is Arlen doing?
I'm gonna get my boomstick ready to shoot things.
All right. How about Wonder Bar?
I'm going to step aside from the door.
Okay. What about Gary?
He will step to the other side of the door and pull out his laser pistol.
Okay. And finally, what about Foxen?
She's hiding behind Gary and putting her little laser up in front of her for protection.
Okay. And Michael is asking if Techno's armor has a floodlight on it. Yes, it does. Does it have a waste evacuation system? Well, you don't know.
Well,
pull up my...
sure, you can do that in it, but
It purges like a hippo. Don't look that up. You won't be happy about the results.
Sadly, I've seen that one. I'm not sure I want to. You can think about it on a Friday. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So, in lieu of you guys doing anything else, as you prepare, it slides the door aside. Apparently, the door slides into the right-hand wall, and scan like some kind of red beam shoots out of the front of its face in a fan shape and pans slowly across you. Are the grit of 2 centuries still hanging in the air makes this a very eerie, coherent beam as it plays back and forth. And let me see if I can get a cool vocal effect here.
It's so pretty.
It is kind of pretty. Can I see that?
Attention intruders. You have used force to gain entry into a New Mexico State Emergency Management System facility. Lay down your weapons or present proper identification. You have 30 seconds to comply.
All right, what do you guys do?
What do you say?
How far away is it?
It's, let's see, this room's not very big. It's about 4 meters away from you.
All right, I'm going to shoot it with both barrels of my shotgun.
Okay. So opening fire. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how that works out for him. All right. How about Gary?
I'm sorry. I'm back. Can you give me like a super quick synopsis of what happens? Apologies.
I'm getting us in trouble.
Security robot has entered the office that you guys broke into, and it basically tells you to either present identification or lay down your weapons, and you have 30 seconds to comply.
Oh, okay. Right on. Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So, what is Techno doing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and leap forward into engagement area if possible, or use my round to close.
Oh yeah, it's just the room is like 3 meters by 4 meters, so it's not a huge space.
Yeah, I'll just jump over there and punch him in the face.
All righty. All right. What about Gary?
He's, you know what? Nothing good ever comes from trying to take the peaceful way. So he'll just shoot him in the face.
Okay. Foxen, you are just trying not to get stepped on, I guess.
Yeah. She's going to back up and go around the corner.
How about Wonderbar?
I have a mace, but I don't think it's going to work against this. So I'm going to hang out and see what happens.
Quite.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Let's go ahead and roll initiative then. We'll start at the top. Dooms, roll initiative, please. You guys are not complying. It told you to comply, and you're not complying.
When was the last time we complied with anything?
You know what, Tim? I'm gonna say that 4. Okay, party goes first. Tim, you are closest. Click, kaboom, kaboom. The double report of a shotgun rings out in the enclosed space.
So what am I rolling here?
You're rolling 2d20 to hit.
2d20. Someday I'll remember where everything is on the dice roll.
That's
20 and an 11.
A 20 and 11. So the 20 hit. Did the 11? Let's see. I don't think the 11 actually hit. Did I tell you what class the boomstick was? Class
You
of
did
weapon?
not.
I did not. I think. Let me see.
It's the kind that hits everything when you roll it too.
It
I remember
always hits.
distinctly
It
you said
always
that.
hits. That's right. Well, let's see. Let me pull up old table here. So the first one absolutely hits. So roll 1d4 and add 1. And that is how many pellets hit.
A 1 + 1 is 2.
So 2 pellets from the first barrel hit him. And I actually need
1 to 4 damage. I know that one.
Yes. So 2d4 damage.
4.
Okay. So yeah, ping, ping, couple of pellets ding the armor really good. Its cranial turret rotates and looks at you. Dooms, you have well, let's do ranged attacks first. Gary, take your shot.
Oh, hang on. All right, there we go. $15.
15. Sorry. 15, and that is your laser pistol?
Yeah. Class 13.
All right. Class 13, right. So 2, 13, 15. Yes, you hit it.
Boo.
And
12.
you inflict 12 points of damage. Okay. Its cranial turret turns and looks at you. You hear a faint click. I'm sorry. Was Wonder Bar attempting an attack on him, Kevin?
No, he's got to reload. I got to verify whether I actually have a battery or not for this pistol.
Okay, you're like battery. Let me.
Yeah, it looks like we do have one.
Okay.
That's in the trailer that I would have picked up. So.
All right.
Didn't we end up getting a couple of recently as well? 5 or 6 or 7 of them over the last couple of sessions of various capacity.
We picked up more from the mayor, dude.
I know you guys got some from the killbots.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got 5 pistols, and then I think we had 2 or 3 at least clips. Or batteries.
Right. Well, the pistols each have one. That's why we need to keep up with the sheet, right?
Yes.
The pistols each have one. And at one point, 3 of the pistols were depleted down to 3 shots each, I think. And then 2 of the pistols were different. And I just happen to have one of the pistols for the XP, and I assume I'd duct tape it to the armor.
Well, the sheet's up. We just have to check it.
Yeah, we got to stay on top of it.
I have 6 charges right now in my pistol, so I just want to check.
Go ahead and take your shot.
Okay. So in my testing, I found that it was rolling somebody else's dice again. So I'm not going to fight them anymore. I'm joining them. These are now my dice.
Whatever game is going on, you're part of it too.
Yep, exactly.
All right, well, go ahead and make your attack, sir.
Whenever I go out, the pistol we shout, blast, blast, shoot it in the face. Okay. So yeah, it's a 15.
There are many dice like it, but these are mine.
It's a 15. That is a hit.
Okay.
You warm it up.
5d6. Let's see what happens.
Not bad.
20.
Not bad.
20. Yeah.
So we got 12 and 4 is 16 and 20 is 36. It is dinged up. It is damaged. It has taken a lot of hits. It raises its arms and it is trying to hit each of you guys with these, like, they just kind of slide out of its shoulders and clamp down onto its arms. Makes it look kind of like a rifleman from Battletech, if you know that War Machine. But there are 4
chopping mall.
There are 4 batons that click in place. They spark with blue electricity, and you are all getting attacked. So this one is on. We'll just start at the top. Techno. Oh, I saw that 19 coming, and I was like, yeah.
I'm minus 10.
All right, so let's see, 72. Not 72. That's 12 rather. All right, and what is Techno's armor class? It's 2, correct?
It's 1, sir.
Okay. You don't sir me. I work for a living.
I used to
and
work with
other
a guy
BS. All right.
who was always like, "Sir was my father." Every time somebody called him sir.
Well,
Yes,
now I'm going to have to use sir twice in each conversation.
All right. Okay, so you rolled a 13, and I gotta see that the Game Master sheet for Gamble World First Edition is very helpful, but it kind of misses the trick in a few places. So let's see. So 13, and that's a 6. 13. Okay. Target armor class. Okay, Dooms, what is your constitution, please?
I believe it's 13. No, it's actually 11.
It is 11. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, that's not what it is. Okay. All right. So we'll just treat that as that, and we'll call it that. And it's an 11. So yeah, the slow knife penetrates the shield. It pushes the stun rod up against your armor and just kind of eases it through. And yeah, you're having a bad day. You are cramping from just under your chin down to your knees, and you're just gonna have a lie down for a minute.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yes. All right. Next up is yes.
Sorry, did Techno get his attack?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. That one misses Arlen. There's a crackle, and it swings at you with one of these rods. So Arlen is missed. And let's see. Wonder Bar. What is Wonder Bar's armor class?
I believe it's 2.
2. Okay. I don't think a 9 is going to get you. No, that is not going to get you.
Okay.
And last but not least, Tim, what is Arlen's armor class?
3.
A 12. That will get you. And what is Arlen's constitution, please?
18.
18. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you're jolted and you kind of slump to the floor, but you are going to recover in just a moment. You are going to recover in 3 combat rounds. So you're on the floor. It's it is turning to deal with your two comrades, but you will be up in 3 rounds. So next round, the only people who are currently up at this point are Gary and Wonderbar. What are Gary and Wonderbar doing?
Isn't Foxen up around the corner? She's speaking.
You said you were getting the hell out of Dodge. So
well, no, I'm around the corner.
Yes, which means you're not there. So what are you doing in this round? You hear zap, thump, zap, thump. What are you doing?
I'm gonna peek.
Okay.
Well, Gary's shooting.
So Gary's shooting. Is Wonderbar shooting?
Absolutely shooting. Yep.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll initiative then. And I think now it is Tim's turn for initiative.
Oh boy.
I got a 4.
Hey, actually, sort of, kind of, maybe. I got a 3.
A 3. Okay. It is swinging a couple of stun batons at Arlen. Actually, it is no. Hang on. It is swinging a stun baton at Arlen. A 14. Oh wait, no. I apologize. Arlen is already down. It is not swinging on Arlen. It is swinging on Wonderbar.
Yeah, I fell on my tushy.
Yeah, it's not shocking you anymore. All right, that will just miss Wonderbar. Gary. It does not reach out and touch you, Gary. It will swing at you one more time, though.
Oh,
that time it gets you. It touches you. What is Gary's constitution, please?
6.
Gary is going to have a nice peaceful nap, by which I mean you scream, you drop your weapon, and you want the cramps to stop, but they're not. Go ahead and take your shot, Wonderbar.
Sir, I rolled a 5, sir.
All right. So this is what you see when you peek around the corner, Foxen. You see bright flashes of blue, and you hear a scream of pain from Gary. And you kind of see this thing's red photoreceptors turn, and they focus on you. So, new round. What is Foxen doing?
She's going to take out the laser pistol and shoot. And try to make a minimal target in the corner because she's tiny.
How about Wonderbar?
Yeah, I'm shooting. Yep, that's how I do it.
All right, let's roll initiative, and we are over to Yang.
Roll good, Yang.
There you go.
Simultaneous crap.
It is tied. Okay, so both of you guys take your shots as it's doing its thing.
All right. Yeah, that's going to work really, really well. A 2. I got to tell you, these dice suck as far as showing you which face is actually running.
Okay, well, that is regardless, that's a miss. Go ahead and take your shot, Connect. Can you connect? All right, 13. Your laser pistol is class 13. I know what its armor class is. Let's see. So 13 and you hit it. Congratulations.
Nice. That's a 5, right?
Yes, that's 5d6. Not bad. 19. Okay, yeah. You burn a hole through it and it kind of staggers. Okay. It raises up one hand, and not that you can see this, but its palm clicks open, and there's this kind of shing sound as a cable-like appendage fires out of its hand and wraps around you. What is your constitution?
Foxen is 17.
Let's see. "17."
She has heightened hearing, but that probably doesn't help in this case. But
No, that does. You'll be able to hear yourself screaming "ow" pretty well. All right, so 17. And I got to, oops, look in the right place, Bill. 17. Treat this. I probably should have gone with that. But this is what I did. So
she is tiny, but
no, I understand. Tiny but tough. 17.
But it is a robot, so I get it.
Okay. You are owie all over. And you're like, you just like reflexively curl into a ball. And you can do nothing else. All right. So that's what it does in this round. Now it's raising its other palm and pointing it at you there, Wonderbar. What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to shoot it if I can, and
Okay.
not let it hit me if I can also do that. And I'm disbelieving.
Also. You're that fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see. So, well, it's it's your turn for initiative.
Okay.
Rolling.
Another dice so we can actually read what it says. 4.
A 4, not bad.
Nice.
And that is more than sufficient. You take your shot, sir.
That's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay. It looked like a 17 from over here because where the die landed, and I was like, yay. Okay. It pivots. Your beam passes by, it melts a hole in the window, and it fires a metal tentacle at you. And your armor class?
It's 1. AC 1.
Okay. It misses because it had to pivot. It sighs through the air. And it can't really do anything else with its arms because it's reeling in Foxen and trying to hit you with the other one. So that was 1, 2. This was the third. Tim, in the fourth round, Arlen is really angry. He's really angry for 2 reasons. 1, his erstwhile friends are in danger. 2, this thing made you pee your pants. What is not really, I'm just kidding. What is Arlen doing though? You're able to move now.
I'm going to use my laser pistol this time.
I gotcha. Okay. So Kevin, I'm guessing Wonderbar is using his laser pistol.
Yeah, for 2 more rounds until I have to recharge. Yep.
All right, let's roll initiative, and we are down to Canik for initiative, please. D6. I got a 1. I think you guys can probably beat that. And you guys got a 3. Okay, party goes first. Tim, Arlen, take your shot. An 11 with a 13. It's going to be close. That will just hit. Tim, that is going to be 5d6.
5d6.
Yes.
A 20.
Nice. So that is 39 you guys have done just in the last couple of rounds, and you had heaped a lot of damage on it before. So Arlen must have hit something vital because it kind of staggers forward and just gabbles out some high-pitched speech and then just kind of slumps over at the waist and crumples to the floor. So we're out of combat at this point. Your friends, they are alive, but they are paralyzed. Foxen, you guys are basically out for about 20 minutes. Those of you who were straight up paralyzed. So you shake it off, you recover, It's still, you're not damaged, but it did hurt all over. So you've got this thing lying on its back, big symbol on its chest. What is everyone doing?
Does walking up and slapping those guys to try to wake them help?
Maybe not slap me so much, but tap me. I'm tiny.
No, it does not.
Okay.
It does not hasten the process.
Then let's loot the room.
Hurry, what else is? Wake up!
Hurry before they wake up. Let's loot the room, man.
Okay. And for those of you who are curious, this is the symbol in the middle of its chest. Let me.
Police squad?
No. It is that. New Mexico Bureau of Emergency Management and Homeland Security. That is all gobbledygook to you guys. You have no idea what any of that nonsense means, other than to quote Montgomery Burns, conga, 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 conga like you mean it. Please don't make me shock you. So
when Foxen wakes up and sees the downed robot, she's gonna go and she's gonna pee on it.
Oh, that's fine. Established dominance.
There used to be a folk tale about a mathematician being held in a small room near a symbol like that.
Okay.
I almost thought for a second that Foxen was a humanoid.
That's just wrong.
You can still pee on it. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean that's. I think we all went to college.
She's a mutated animal. If you want to think of me as a humanoid, that's fine. Right.
So you have the door this thing came through. Now, as far as looting the room, there are a couple of computer terminals sitting on desks that you saw when I'm guessing Techno turns his suit light back on when he's able to get up and running again.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to you pan it around and you've got some more knocked over chairs now, and a couple of old style computer terminals sitting on the counter that is in an L shape that takes up one half of the walls in the room.
Does it appear like we can maybe detach those stun rods or whatever
they
were?
Let's see. No, they appear to be built onto it. They do telescope out further, however.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to analyze this thing further, you are absolutely welcome to it.
I do have heightened brain talent, so that gives me a little better bonus for doing that stuff.
Alrighty, yeah. If you want to examine it, let's go to the tables, man.
All right. Wait, it doesn't. It says mutant with this ability will be able to figure out the workings of any artifact in 1/3. Okay, so it just takes 1/3 the time. It's not bonuses on the roll.
Okay. So, I mean, you can still use chart B and try and figure out what this thing might have done in addition to shocking the living hell out of you if you want to make some rolls.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, make your first roll.
All right. D10. It's a 3. I don't think I have mods. I have a 15 intelligence, so I think that's 0 modifier.
Okay, yeah. I mean, not being snarky, it is it is some kind of humanoid defensive robot that had, that's the operative word here, had some kind of anti-grav motivators as well as its feet, telescoping areas. These stun rods could go out to 3 meters. You figure that, like, you guys would not have been safe. Like, run, zap, zap, zap. So yeah, you've gotten some of the basic functions of it. There's a couple of ports in its chest plastron. You think maybe some more investigation might help you out there if you want to roll again.
Okay. Oh, it's a 7.
It's a 7. Yeah, you're kind of prying in an access panel. Maybe this is something important here. You can go ahead and roll again if you want.
Yeah, I'm getting better all the time. It's a 9.
That was a 9, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I said 9. It's a 9, not 9. No, but yeah, it's a 9.
Okay. You pull that panel off and you're like, hey, I got it. Okay. You successfully open an access panel. Go ahead and give me another.
That's a 7.
That's a 7. Okay. You pull up on a couple of pipes in this trio of like interleaved stacked pipes. You're like, if I can pull these up, and yeah, you've articulated these 3 short, stubby cylindrical things arrayed down the side of the chest. Give me another roll.
I'm gonna turn around and tell Arlen and Fox, and I'm like, you might want to step back in case this doesn't go well.
Foxen is gonna like go back and peek around the corner.
Okay. It's
okay. All right. You push those back down, and they fold back down, so they're no longer pointing at your face. You want to give me another roll?
It's a 1. Holy crap.
It's a 1. Holy crap. Okay. All right. You're learning more about this. That is some kind of grenade discharger. You can now see that there's a little mechanism to feed what look like grenades into each of those tubes.
Are there really large metallic structures for us to hide behind? Because this doesn't sound like it.
I mean, you can go back out in the hall. The whole place is Durasteel on top of concrete. You'd probably be safe out there near the reactor.
I figured this out. This is the Fumper. That's what this is.
All right. Give me another D10 roll if you wish to keep exploring. You don't have to. You can stop.
No, I'm going to keep checking, whatever. I got a 5.
1. Okay. You think you have almost figured out how the weapon suites in this thing are supposed to work. Do you want to make another roll?
Yes.
Roll it.
I'll look behind me to make sure everybody's stepped and they're not sitting behind me. 3. Okay.
A 3. You're like, does this do? Nothing really changes.
Oh, nice. Okay. This is that dramatic, duh. Yeah. It's a
so
6.
the Lucasfilm lead-in.
Okay. Now you've gotten something that looks like a stubby slug thrower with a triangular magazine snapped underneath it. Now that's pointing out.
Okay,
Give me another
yeah, I'm like, this is kind of boring, and I'm not real. Hey, you know what? I think I know everything I need to know. I'm gonna slowly back away.
Okay. It doesn't move. It doesn't reactivate, but you're not sure how to maybe detach them or anything, but you definitely know that it has some weapons on it.
Yeah, I'd like to get some of those grenades out, or maybe some magazines, but not at the risk of using my face as a backstop. So.
Okay.
I'll just I'll say, hey, that was really neat. I gotta go look at something over there. And I'm gonna go away from the thing and somewhere else, and pay attention to bugs in the corner or something while somebody else does what they need to do.
I was going to say, your face is a risk I'm willing to take. And
Yeah, of course it is.
Robot sits up. Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face. Okay, so yeah, it's it's you know, it is what it is now. What do you guys want to do next? You have the door leading out into the large dark room, which you can see has some various shapes in it. And that is where this thing
that would be the way to go.
So is everybody back up?
Evidently.
Yeah, that during the time you took that, everybody was able to kind of shake off. Your extremities are still tingling a little, but nothing that's going to interfere.
Okay, makes sense. I'll then yeah, I think we should get the hell out of here. So
Indeed.
Well, it's John. What was it guarding? Would it be worthwhile to look behind it?
I mean, again, there is a door that leads out into the larger outer room.
that's where it came from, right?
Yes, that is.
Oh, okay. So we
perhaps it was guarding the area where it pisses.
yeah, Fox P in here, guys. You think maybe she's been into the asparagus rations. So
you don't guard no junk.
Yeah, well, yeah. I ain't got nothing else to say about it.
All right, so what do, guys?
I suppose I shall go first, as usual.
Hey, you got the power armor. You're the lead.
Okay,
Until
so
it runs
this
out of battery.
This room is it's big. Think gymnasium sized. However, it is largely empty. The only things of note stacked up in a corner are several folded objects, which, as you look at them, they're dingy white posts, and they are they have orange stripes on them. And there are a great many stacks of these. That is on one side of this room. On the other side of the room, near what looks like a natural cave-in or landslide that completely covers the far end of this room, are two vehicles. They're ground vehicles. They are wedge-shaped. Let me show you guys real quick what you're looking at here. But they look kind of... I'll find one here. No, that is much too nice. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, open one up in ye old window here, and then share it with you guys. It looks like this. Share screen. Where'd it go? There it is. It looks like that, but it is that same color scheme as the emblem that was on the robot's chest. There is a second one that is longer. It looks like it takes 4 passengers, and both of them have clear, transparent steel domes on top that are about the size of your hand, that are red and blue alternating. Looking at them, Dooms, you can see that they the tires of them are all dry rotted. They are sitting down on their rims. They're covered with dust, and whatever material they're made out of must otherwise be fairly durable, because aside from the thick layer of dust and the decayed wheels, they otherwise don't look to have been damaged by whatever this cave-in was.
All right.
Gary's going to go check for weapons in there.
Fox is
All right.
going to go in there and check for medical or anything else like that might be useful that Gary is not pilfering.
Okay.
I'll move to the left side of the room. I would assume it would be where those orange stripe things were, and just pick them up and throw them around a little bit and see what's going on with them.
Okay. So these all Dims, give me a D10 roll. We're just going to do just a simple D10, unless you roll a 10 or something, but you also have your affinity to technical stuff. So is that a 10 or is that a 1?
These freaking dice.
It shows as a 10.
So yeah, let me roll it again and see what it. I mean, obviously, it's just going to show. It's the ones die. That's all I know.
Okay, so it does have a 10 pip, or 10 pip. So yeah, it takes you a while to figure these things out. You kind of damage a couple, but there's dozens and dozens of them. But basically, you move a lever and a tripod on the bottom pops out that digs into soil. There's enough of a layer of sand on the floor from whenever that cave-in was that you can clearly see that they sit down in the sand. And if you put two of them about a meter apart, it's very faint and it kind of sputters, but there is a orange and white hologram pattern that stretches between two of them when you set them down. The light will not stop you from passing your hand through it. It's not impeding your progress at all. These are clearly meant to indicate someone away from something.
Right.
So, and you've got, like I said, you've got dozens of these things, even after you destroyed a couple. Back over at the vehicles, Gary, so there's two of them. There's the shorter one and there is the larger one. Which one do you want to start with?
Larger one.
Larger one. Okay. Kanek, do you go over to the shorter one then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Gary, the longer of the two, place for 4, there are hatches for each passenger to get into, and there is a front covering. You've driven the turbine car, that is probably the engine, and then there is a hatch on the back. While you guys are doing this, Tim, what is Arlen doing in the room?
Arlen is just hanging out by the cars, watching them examine them.
Okay, and
seeing what they miss.
Okay, how about Techno?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna relax. I'm satisfied in what I found in that area of the room.
Okay. Kevin, how about Wonder Bar?
Yeah, I'll let them check the vehicles. I am gonna laugh at them though when they get in the small vehicle, and because that's where they belong. But
this is the largest car I could afford. I suppose you think it's funny. Second,
I'm gonna laugh when they try to drive with no tires.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is we don't own this complex or those vehicles, so damage happens. It's not a problem.
That's very true. Okay, so you dig around in the other vehicle. In the rear compartment, there is a great deal of corrosive damage done back here. There's a big hole in the cargo compartment. You can't really see too many details because, well, no, I guess Dooms is over there near enough with his spotlight. You know, you can say, "Damn it, hold the flashlight still to him if you want."
Micro missile.
So yeah, there's obviously something dissolved or damaged the back compartment. Looking in the front compartment, however, next to some rusty looking tools that are specifically meant for working on this car, you find folded up very neatly what look like two sets of armor. And there are two boxes. One is red and one is green. They're little sealed plastisteel boxes side by side, very small. But you have two sets of what look like armor folded up.
Can I tell what kind of armor?
It is not bulky enough to be powered. You can tell that much.
Okay.
You'll have to check it out to see if it has any systems or anything in it.
All right. Well, I think I'll start with that green box.
Okay. You're not exactly sure how these work, but you have seen Arlen sticking the cylinders in there, of which there are 10, in his shotgun just prior to it going boom.
Oh.
And there is likewise a box next to it, same dimensions, but that box is red.
I will check the red box out as well.
10 red boom cylinders.
Ooh. Do I know the difference offhand?
No.
No. Okay. Then I will check out those armors and see if I can identify them.
Okay. And I missed this in my notes. There is also some kind of weapon lying in the trunk also. You're not sure, but you think maybe some of the corrosion got on it, but you can definitely check it out. The armors, let's see. Yes, these armors. Let me tell you about these armors. This looks like metal armor that you've seen made in villages and settlements and so on, except it is from the pre-cataclysm, and it appears to be made of plastisteel. It is not powered. There are no there are no indicators of any kind of power connections, any kind of sensor hookups. There's a helmet. There's a clear transparent steel shield, and written across the shield, it says police. And across the front of the armor is the ever-present New Mexico Bureau of Emergency Management Response.
All right. Well, definitely taking those two. He will check out that other weapon that was lying there.
Okay. It's some kind of projector. It's got a it's elongate. It's one cylinder on top of another. Looks like maybe you rest part of it against your shoulder. If you want to go ahead and start making some rolls, you can.
Certainly.
All right. Go ahead and give me a D10 roll.
0.
3. Okay. Oh, it's 0. I forget
Yes.
about that. A 0. Let me get to. Well, I can tell you that will advance you definitely to the next point. I just got to see. Let's see. All right. Yeah. So this is some kind of slug projector. Go ahead and roll again.
Oh, 5.
Okay. The lower cylinder is some kind of mechanism to feed slugs into it, and you pull it back. It is very difficult. You can feel like something grinding, like grittiness as you pull it back, but eventually it snaps down. Give me another D10 roll.
I'm sure it's just fine.
Yeah.
Oh, 6.
Yeah, it's frozen in place. You're not sure how to get it to release. You want to give me another?
Yeah. I'll try banging it on the ground a little bit, and we'll see how that goes.
I may just jump straight to a certain point on the chart for this.
6.
A 6. Okay, beating it on the ground doesn't do anything other than in the light of Techno's spot lamp, you see a few flakes of stuff, metal, and other odds and ends fall off of it. Give me another roll.
Oh, yeah, it's getting better for sure.
And when your enemy is destroying themselves, do nothing.
Yeah.
-1.
All right. Yeah. So you figure out 2 things. This is never going to work again, but this is something called a Winchester pump action 12 gauge shotgun.
Yeah, the 1300 is really, really smooth, except for this one.
Yeah. Well, you lay something next to a leaking lead acid battery for 200 years. So if you encounter one of these intact in the future, you will know how to use it, no problem. But you would have fed shells into the bottom, pulled the pump back, fed shells in, and then worked the lever to put a shell into the receiver and then fire it. But sadly, this model is, the like 40 centimeter long and almost centimeter and a half high split in the metal near where the pump action stops just below the receiver is probably a good indication that even if you could get a shell into it, attempting to fire this weapon would be catastrophically dangerous.
Okay, so he'll take the boxes. Well, the armor, I guess he'll put in his backpack or whatever. And,
no, you won't. The armor is whole person, full body armor.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a full set: boots to helmet, gloves to shoulders, front and back chest, and shield, riot armor.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, he will drag it towards the door because maybe we'll need it later.
Yeah.
And then he'll go over to Arlen and say, Ari, I got something for you. And he'll give him the boxes.
All right, Tim, you still
with the slugs.
Perhaps Tim was called away. So yeah, he pockets those shells. He's got 2 boxes of shells. He's like, red and green. So he's got that. Take care, Dying Breed. Have a good one. All right, guys. So you've collected up some goodies down here in the ops area. What to do next?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Oh, did I find anything in my little cubby?
No. Dry rot.
Okay.
Lots of dry rot. There's a crumbling volume that falls apart almost as quickly as you turn it, but on the cover it says Police Procedurals Revised July 2168. And it has
no real loss. Got it.
it has a little collection of 4 pictures showing uniformed pure strain humans interacting in a friendly way with other uniformed pure strain humans. One of them standing next to a vehicle, about to write something down, smiling at the person in the vehicle. The other one talking to a couple of humans. Another one is speaking to a robot that looks surprisingly a lot like the one that you guys just took down, and so on. So
there was an exit at the far end. There was an exit at the far end of this room.
There was possibly, but it is completely choked with sand and rocks. It is fallen down.
Perhaps we should get those vehicles operational and dig further in the tunnel.
I mean, if you want to, you absolutely can. Tim, make a note, by the way. You have 2 boxes of shotgun shells. There's 10 shells in each. And you have 10 that are red and 10 that are green.
Yeah, use those green ones in your firearm, since they're 16 gauge.
No, they're both the same diameter. I know that
really?
different. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're both the same diameter.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm gonna guess different kinds of shot, but Bill might have something crazy up his sleeve. You never know.
It's the dragon's breath. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, but I was afraid I'd be the only one.
Everything in front of the shotgun catches fire.
Oh my God.
I was afraid I'd be the only one who knew what that was. I forgot who I was talking about.
I know what that is. Yeah. All right, so yeah, you have the 2 vehicles, you have this collapsed space, and Techno just said something about getting the vehicles working and driving them out of here.
Yeah, I think what I will do is shut down the armor, communicate to everybody. I believe that it would be in our best interest to make these vehicles operational so that we may escape this tomb. However, I'm open to alternative suggestions.
Sorry, didn't you say the tires were all rotted out?
Yeah, the tires are dry rotted.
Indeed, they are. And that is a problem. How?
So, you
and I'll also
haven't
point out
experienced
Gary
poor yet, right? Where you just drive on the rims.
Yeah.
I'm going to point out,
precisely.
don't they usually have a maintenance bay for that kind of thing? And we just haven't found it yet?
Gary, also, you saw that there was basically a hole dissolved through the backs, the back compartment of the car that you found the gun, the shells, and the riot armor in.
My sister drove a Volkswagen that had holes in the floorboard for years. That wouldn't stop me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That would be just a normal Volkswagen, wouldn't it?
I let me tell you what. I watch enough Junkyard Digs and Pole Barn Garage, and I have seen these guys take vehicles that, honest to God, I am afraid for them when they like. Can we get this 1971 Le Mans to drive all the way from Texas back to Iowa? And the car they're showing, it literally is a shell with no drive line or cabin. Okay, and I'm like, what?
You have to remember, I'm that same person who every time I hear the thing people brag about sometimes on commercial things, going, "Oh, it's military grade." I'm like, "Oh God, no!"
Made by the lowest bidder, guys.
don't touch it.
Lowest bidder, yes.
Run away!
And it's rusty, and you touch it, and it powders.
Here's the good news, right? Since it's not going to start, and there's holes in the floorboard, we can Flintstones this. Right?
I mean,
and Doom has a power armor.
What about that second car? Does that appear to be in similar condition, where the engine's all blown out and whatnot?
Yeah, looking in the front of it has a small cargo space that there is no room for anything in except maybe like a half a meter square space, but most of it is taken up by some kind of mechanical lever and a spare tire. The rear hatch, when you open it, you can see some kind of electrical device, and next to it is a black box that is split open, and there's a whitish green substance has spilled out and has apparently dissolved much of the sidewall and floor pan of this vehicle.
All right. And so this passageway leading out of here, it would require this special equipment, it looks like. Would it take an enormous amount of time to dig your way out? I mean, it's like a quarry, basically, right? Or like a quarry passageway, and these things were specially designed.
The tunnel out of here is under tons and tons and tons of rock and sand.
Right.
So let's do the smart thing and just keep digging until it's all gone, and we can play this session for the next 6 months.
Yes. Just Bill sitting here rolling wandering monster encounters. Oh, look at that! You disturbed another cave full of blash.
I'm actually good with that. So, what do we want to do?
I mean, we got a food store here that's going to take us through that 6 months, but still.
Perhaps we should use this as some sort of base of operations. For we are not flanked here, and this is the farthest we can proceed.
Yeah, this actually looks like it's reasonably safe. You're right.
Now, there are intact light panels hanging from the ceiling. You guys recognize these from other ancient structures you've been in. They are intact, but there is nothing powering them currently. You have seen like low powered lights and so on when you were in the upper levels, but here there is nothing.
So somebody could go look at that robot and see if it has because it has ports and stuff on it that maybe we could plug those lights into. Maybe it has a special non-chemical battery that will let us run it for a long time, because it was powered up, right? After all that time.
Well, I can tear it apart and we can see what we can find.
Yeah, just be careful. It points stuff at you if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, it already put me on my back, evidently.
Okay, so Dooms, are you going to attempt some mechanical understanding?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just pulling it apart, failing that.
Okay. Your mechanical understanding tells you this thing was powered by broadcast power. It did not have its own internal power supply.
Right.
Something nearby was feeding it enough juice to keep it going. And you suspect it may have something to do with the reactor.
Right. Well, I've examined it. It seems to be nothing more than, what is it they call it, a transducer and a wrestler. I believe it is controlled from beyond.
Oh, if I was myself, I'd say let's take the receiver out and put it in the building, but that's not me. So, yeah, that doesn't sound good.
We must find the power source.
Yep.
Again.
Why don't you go into that reactor room? You're the only one with shields who could take it.
Well, I certainly could.
Okay,
would you like to scout for
Well,
traps?
I thought we had another that could do it too. Because
sorry,
someone has jump armor.
Tim was about to say something. Sorry.
I was going to say, we'll be right here behind you.
Yeah. what is it? Your physics question, Tim. You're safe at a 90-degree angle, right? From gamma exposure.
No.
Okay. No, I just I had just seen just a few videos.
Not a particle.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
it goes out in all directions, and it unless you got a shielding that stops it in between you and the material, it's going to get you. Gamma is pretty easy to stop though, so if there's something that's not letting it in here, angle's not going to make a difference. It's going to be shielded.
Okay.
It's just don't stand behind the door while it's open. Would probably be the only.
My question would be: should we call this Easy World then?
Easy World. Gamma is easy.
Is that like Greenland? Is what that is? Is that what?
No, it's gamma radiation for the nuclear side is easy to stop. The tough one is neutron radiation. That stuff goes through anything.
Yeah, it goes through the entire planet. So yeah. kind of sucks.
Never go in against the
You can
physicist
kind
when
of stop
death
it
is
with
on the
some
line.
things, but yeah, it basically goes through anything.
All right. Okay, so
it'll keep going until it hits your DNA and modifies it, so it's not.
Which then it just.
Well, I mean,
deflects
this
and
is
goes somewhere
gamma
else.
world, and we have
Exactly.
mutations.
all right, so you have basically everything in this room other than the two terminals, which are not powered up right now. And you have the two vehicles, which, I mean, if you hook them to a rack oxen or to a horse, they might be useful in that respect, but you don't think they're gonna move under their own power again. And then you have
return. Oh, apologies.
I was just gonna say you have the distant reactor room.
We must return to the reactor room. Therefore flows the power.
And are two of the party that have tech armor can go? So the rest of us will have to stay back?
We need light. We
So-
need the energy.
The scout
I
armor
will
does
give
have a
them
shield,
there.
right? But does it
Yes.
protect versus radiation?
Mm,
We'll find out. Okay. Let's find out.
maybe.
Oh, my sperm. Oh, feels okay now.
Do it again. Huh, didn't feel anything that time. All right. So,
Oh my gosh.
all right. So you guys make your way back to the reactor room. Voice comes over, gives you the same warnings that it did last time. There's a slot on the door that looks like Arlen's card will fit in.
All right. So a question: does this suit have any sort of Geiger counter?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything emanating from beyond the door that it detects?
From beyond the door, while you're on this side of it, no, you don't detect anything. Just normal background radiation. Just slight faint uptick every now and again, but nothing that's got you going.
Right.
Hey, everybody,
Fair
hand me
enough.
your microwave burritos, and
Well, I do not know if this will work.
It could
I do not
microwave
know
your
if
burritos.
anything works. Absolutely. Whatever those are, they sound delicious. Perhaps anyone not appropriately shielded, of which I might be one, should stand back or outside of this room. Stand back.
I'll stand far behind Foxen. We're good.
And Foxen is way out of the range.
May I have the card, please?
Here you go. We'll
Thank you.
have fun.
all right.
Yeah, I'll
So
plug that into the door.
you slide it in. There is a loud klaxon, repeating klaxon. Yellow lights start to rotate. There is a hiss, a clank, a big wheel in the middle of the door rotates 2 complete rotations, stops with a clank. There's a boom. The door slides inward away from you and slowly to the left. You are looking.
Thick?
Yes.
Right.
You are looking into a chamber that is about 10 meters in diameter. That is circular, following the wall at about waist level on the left-hand side for a few meters. There is what appears to be a counter with a couple of chairs next to it and a couple of the ever-present terminals that you've seen before. These are switched on. There is something taped up between the 2 terminals, just on the wall between them. Next to one of the terminals, you can see what looks like a small glass rod with 2 bulbs at the end of it. It is standing up vertically, and there is a small clear glass container in front of it, or transparent steel or something like that. Your suit's Geiger counter is going absolutely nowhere. It's not indicating anything.
This appears to be safe.
All right. Well, I mean, I was already in, so I'll. What do you need me to do, Techno? I'll do whatever we gotta do.
Anything you
try to get
can.
this powered.
Unless I climb out of this again, my utility in here is limited.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow his instructions so he doesn't have to get out of his armor.
Okay. All right, so you're going in. You have the 2 consoles on the left, and in the center of the room, you can see this very clearly from outside of the room, is about 1.5 meters black cube sitting on the floor with cables snaking out of it that go up to the ceiling. There are rows of lights that are blinking steadily on and off on it in various patterns. And stuck to each side of the black cube, there are the all too familiar yellow circles with the 3 black triangles and the black circle right in the center. So head on in if you want to.
Yeah, I'll go in there. So are the terminals powered, or
yes?
I'm okay. All right.
They are powered, and yeah, this is not that friendly terminal that you were looking at upstairs when you came in after you had seen your friends. This is fiendishly complex.
Okay.
But you can start.
Well, I guess I could do it in 1/3 of the time, which could
yes.
be that I get to the bad result in 1/3 of the time. I'm on a...
Hey guys, I think it's safe now. It's just showing me a big blue light.
I'm on a high-speed elevator to hell, going down. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I'll
give me a
quick
D10
dice,
roll.
I guess. 6.
6. Okay. You sit down, and it's the same login as before. So it has accepted your login. Go ahead and give me another die roll.
Okay. LPR enter. Okay.
CESF log on.
3.
Okay. You try one of the logons that you saw before, and you are now looking at the facilities power systems main menu. Please input command. Drawdown. There's drawdown, scram, full power, disable broadcasts, so on.
I try to peer over his shoulder because I know guys like him enjoy that.
Okay. Oh, by the way, you can very clearly see the piece of paper that has been stuck up between the two terminals. You're not sure what this is in reference to, but it's handwritten, so you're not sure how valid it is or isn't. But it seems to be a warning cautioning people who say 3.6, not great, not terrible, is grounds for pay docking. You're not sure what that's in reference to at all. All right, go ahead and roll again.
Yeah, let's hope I don't get docked.
Something tells me Bill's seen that note in his life.
All right. You try it like, okay, well, that's number one. Let me hit number one and enter, and it just stays on the same screen. It doesn't do anything. You can try again.
Okay. I would have tried full power, but yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, just whatever number you select, it doesn't change. Yeah, you're like, let me try full power. Blip, just stays the same.
Anybody have a copy of Dalton's Disk Disintegrator version 2.1?
Yeah,
I wish I had a cheeseburger tea next to you.
A 4.
A 4. Whatever you just did, it does twice as much.
Okay.
But your fingers are quick on the keyboard. This is not taking you long at all.
Yeah, it's not taking me long at all. That's actually 0. That's not a 10.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. Look at the die roller. That's what it says.
All right. So you.
I need those dice.
So you say, okay, maybe I can key in a command from a prompt, and it brings you into something called core maintenance. All the letters are red on the screen now. There are a few more options. Coolant flush, coolant increase.
You know, I wish Do-Re-Mi was around one of these days.
All right, make your roll.
A 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
A 7. Doesn't change.
Okay, that's actually good because I was thinking it was gonna be like core ejection initiated.
You hear a clang, and there's a bright blue rod lying on the floor behind you, slowly melting into the steel.
Please step aside.
Yep.
Don't touch the graphene.
Yep.
Oh, geez, 7.
Yeah, it's whatever menu all in red this is. It's not changing.
It's the fail safes. I'll get through them. Don't worry. 5.
Nope.
3.
Okay, the menu changes. It is all in blues and yellows now, and there's an option to continue main ops. There's an option to continue with core maintenance routines. So give me a die roll.
I'm going to try to do the main ops, but since I don't know how to do that, I'll be looking at Techno while I type this.
Okay.
3. Okay. Hey.
Screen is back to all green text. You are at a new set of menus that seem to indicate that you can now control power levels.
Robotic thumbs up.
All right.
And a 4.
And a 4. Can't quite get off that screen, though.
I'm trying to turn off all the compactors.
We're with you, buddy. We're with you.
Oh, son of a...
A 9. Okay. Okay. You are to a menu that is all in yellow, and this is shielding and annealing submenu AF.
Okay. It is definitely shielding as a AF. Yo! Yeah, 0 again.
Okay. And the inscrutable text comes up on the screen. Anneal Velovac system? Y/N. and it's just flashing at you.
I never liked those back systems. The PDPs were so easier to use. Hey, Techno. You think you might know something about this? Because I'm going to hit a key here, and we may have to leave. If we're allowed to.
Perhaps.
If we're allowed to leave.
Some sort of suppression system, I would assume.
Oh, it's going to suppress us, all right. Okay. I would have hit the number. Let's see what happens. I'm going to say no, but that doesn't mean that's what I type. Oh, 1! Holy crap, I might actually.
Nice.
1. Okay. Let's see. You're there. Okay. Velovac annealing canceled. Continue with annealing menu. Y/N.
Okay. Again, I'm going to hit no, but we'll see what I actually type. I hit a no. Okay.
Okay. You are back to the green menu, and you are now sitting at many options to control the power levels. You can go full power. You can scram. You can control shutdown.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do full power.
All right.
I'm looking away as I hit the button.
Oh, God. As you say.
5.
You're just looking at the same menu. There's just a beep and it just flashes.
It says 1 through 5. Why are you hitting F? I'm hitting F because that's how I feel right now. Oh! God.
That's okay. Continue annealing process. Y/N. It's all in yellow.
Listen, Mr. Computer, I told you no. No means no.
Roll it.
6.
6. All right, you're back at that thing that was asking you about a Neil Velovac system immediately. Y/N.
Yeah. No. I say that questioning because. Oh yeah. Yes. Please do that. Yes.
Okay. You just kind of reach over and hit a button, and there's a very annoying deet, and you are looking at a more familiar menu now, back on the green screens. It's some up from where you were before.
Okay.
Fox
It just your finger just kind of came down on 3 keys at once, and it was like, I can't accept no and yes and 3 all at the same time.
It has in key rollover.
Yeah.
Fox is going another room back.
No. You're gonna have to go to like Nebraska to get away from this.
9. All right, you're back at that annealing menu.
I don't get it. Techno, what the hell's wrong with this piece of crap? I keep telling it no. It wants to anneal.
You keep making the same mistakes.
Yeah, I guess I do.
Techno, you can attempt affinity with it.
Yeah, I maybe you could help because I'm getting places and then I'm getting nowhere. This is exactly like working in the garage holding the flashlight, and I'm really getting frustrated.
I'll shut down that power assault armor and climb out of it and go in there.
You start to itch all over. I'm kidding.
It's already itchy in that damn suit anyways.
Everything tastes like pennies.
Let's see.
Pennies actually taste pretty good, man.
No, they don't. That's
You're
copper.
delusional. Go to the infirmary. All right, let's see. What is the power called exactly, Dooms?
So I have molecular understanding and molecular understanding.
Molecular understanding was that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Know the weaknesses of any object and its separate parts. Let's see.
That might not be the one, actually. Hang on. I'm searching through it.
Okay.
From outside the room, Gary says to the others, "If they don't make it, I call dibs on their stuff."
All right. Tim, is Arlen trying to? Is Arlen just hanging back, watching everyone's back, or what's he doing?
I'm just hanging back watching the show, man.
Okay.
Fox is
right.
looking at Gary and
yes,
saying,
that is the one.
They're making it, dude.
Right.
Don't go there.
Right. That's the one.
You can take over at the menu he's at and make your rolls at -2 if you wanna give it a shot.
Yes, sir. May as well.
Yeah. All right. So you can lean over. I mean, he's sorted out a lot of the menus, but yeah, he's coming up a little stuck. So go ahead and give me a D10 roll.
Yes, sir.
7 becomes a 5. Okay, that takes you back to one of the nice, lovely, safe, green-looking menus. Give another roll.
Alrighty. 3.
5. That becomes a 3. Okay. Yeah, you're moving along with the power menu. Give me another
7.
9. Okay. Nothing changes. Give me another roll.
This thing is the worst. 4.
Okay. That whatever it is you are now back at the menu that lets you bring full power up in the building.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to do that.
Okay. Yeah, just a couple of commands keyed, and you have switched on the power. There's kind of a thump from the box behind you,
nice.
but in a friendly way. Just boom. The emergency lighting is replaced by normal lighting. Those of you hanging out in the hall, you kind of have to blink because it's actually like almost daylight bright in here, and you can hear a faint whooshing noise from some kind of air recirculation. So the temperature almost immediately begins to go down.
You got us there, friend. I only finished the task.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I tried really hard, but obviously the talent just wasn't there.
Dude, you were 1 die roll from a skull and bones.
Oh, I know. That's why I knew. I was actually surprised I got so far without the skull and bones.
Yeah, I both of you actually bumped up over there. I was like, oh, shit. But yes, you managed not to accidentally, dump the reactor core into the room with you. Congratulations. And you now know how to use a main building broadcast power unit. So you will not have to do that again. This is courtesy of Westinghouse. All right. Let me award you guys some XP for the evening for having fought the robot. And then we will call it. So a security robot. Let's see. Artifacts. So that would have been 72, and divide that by. So it's not a great many for that. So.
Hey, as long as we're not twitching on the floor anymore. I mean.
Yeah.
And did nobody die?
Did nobody die? All right. So you each get 14 experience points. 14 experience points from that. Also, so the shotgun shells. Tim, you took possession of those, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So. I think they're in it. I will have to get back to you on the XP for the shotgun shells, but the 2 suits of armor are actually worth some XP. To you guys, if nobody's going to take them, I will divide the XP evenly because I think you all have armor.
Other than Foxen, who can't wear anything, but yeah, she's got the little device,
the giant riot shield. I mean, for a person, it's like a, like a buckler, but for you. All right, so let's see. The armor. All right. So this is sheath. That is that. That's an artifact. Hang on a second while I pull that up. All right. And it's not being very helpful in the XP department. But I will scroll down. So I will make a college try at figuring this out. I'm going to warn you guys, though, I didn't go to very good colleges at all.
You worked at NASA. You had to go to a decent college at some point.
No, not really. And I was a computer janitor at NASA. All right. So I'm going to say that because this is an ancient armor that is no longer made, even though it's not powered, I'm going to award you guys a total of 1,000 XP. So that is 200 XP each. So you got a total of 214 XP each for the night's adventure. Does that push anyone up? Does that get anyone over the top on XP?
Not Gary, but I got a question. He got his Geiger counter last week.
Okay, I'll give you 20 for the Geiger counter. 20 XP for the Geiger counter.
So you went to.
Still not close.
You went to the street thing and you got something.
All right. Okay. Well, the party has switched on the main power in the building. They still have a lot of building left to explore, guys. What will they find elsewhere in the emergency situation management facility of New Mexico? Tune in next Friday to find out. But just in case you can't get enough of Kevin, of Doomsword, and of Tim M. Holt, you can stop by on Tuesday night when we all play first edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, and that's a whole lot of fun too. I'm done. I'm finished. I'll see you guys on Monday, and hopefully social media cannot poop in its pants over the weekend, and we can all have a fun and relaxing time. I want to thank all my players, Dooms, Tim, Yang, Kevin, Kennick. Thank you all very much for being here. Thank you to my audience. I love you guys to pieces. If you're watching this in the future, leave a comment down below and tell us what you liked about it. Otherwise, just either way, give the video a thumbs up. And I know that his character has come close to death a few times, but one thing I can tell you unquestionably is that Tim M. Holt is glad that there are no mutated owl bears in Gamma World. Peace, good night, love you all.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.